Hi, Achim Schlaftel from InnerSpace Explorers, and today I would like to talk to you about the leash. You have probably seen the video that I made together with Mike van Sponselen from thelonghorse.com about the handling of 3 stages in trimix diving, and there I mentioned the leash. And after that we got quite a few comments and requests if you could show how one of those is made, and this is what we'll do today. So you need a couple of basic things: an old intermediate pressure hose for the handle, 6mm line, and a couple of bolt snaps. Actually you need only one, but I have a couple here, so we can discuss what is best and what we don't want to use. Okay, let's start with a little bit of the history of the leash. Originally this was invented, so to speak, by cave divers in Florida that started to transport a lot of stages into caves to build depots for exploration divers that are coming back and they need more tanks in the cave. And obviously they started to think, how do we transport these stages in the most streamlined and simple way. And at some point, after the D-rings were kind of full, they started to take a piece of rope, make a loop, and just clip the stages in it, so they could basically carry it. It actually started already carrying it in the water. So if you have 3 or 4 stages on a piece of rope like that, it actually gets quite comfortable. It starts cutting into your hands. So they came up with the idea of a piece of hose over it to make a more comfortable handle and to actually also to hold the loop open. And the next thing that happened was that they decided, okay, that's great, so now we have 3 or 4 stages in one bulk, so why not clip this whole bulk to a D-rig instead of all the stages one by one. And they took a double ender and put the double ender in the leash and then put the leash on the gear. The problem with the double ender is that you have basically 2 failure points. I mean, it can unclip from your gear and it can separate from the leash, and then you lose 3 stages, which is not a smart idea. The other thing that I've seen actually 2 times is then when they start to twist, for example while scootering, and they do it more often, actually the force of the twisted line can break the gate from the snap, and then it's open again. So the double ender is not a good idea here. So what we do is we use a bolt snap and tie it into the loop, so that way it cannot separate and you are 100% sure that that you cannot lose that. Alright, so some simple measurements. This is a ready-made spool. It should be the length of your hand, as you can see here, and the handle should be the width of your hand, like that. So that way it fits, first of all, your hands, and the second thing is it comes to the hip D-ring, and then it should go between your thigh and your butt cheeks to the back D-ring. And so the general size of the person usually fits the size of the hands. So this is a great general rule of thumb when you make one. When you start making them, I mean, you can test it, you can still adjust them before you find your size. But as a general rule of thumb, this and this is a good general measurement rule, and you use a big bolt snap on that. Alright, let's go into details. Alright, let's get started. So first of all we got the handle, so let's take a piece of wood and let's make roughly a marking, so around here. Alright. Alright, so we take the 6mm line and try to get it through here. What actually helps to get it through is a little bit of WD-40, and you can spray in the hose. And was a little bit of twisting and turning. You can push the line through there. Yep, there we are. There it is. Okay, so now talking about the bolt snap. This is a 1 inch, this is a 3/4 inch, and this is a so-called cold water bolt snap. As much as I hate these things, for the leash they're actually quite convenient, because they're quite strong and you have something in your hand, especially when you start clipping behind your back. So I like those. Otherwise the 1 inch is also fine. The 3/4 inch is too small for that. So we route it through there, and now we make a cross knot. Cross knot is like that, and now we make the measurement length of the hand, which actually like this is pretty accurate. So we close the knot, really strong. Check again, it's fine. And now we cut this one off. And to make it super safe, because we really don't want this to open, we can of course melt it down, but what is even better is if we secure the line with a tackling. And if you follow our YouTube channel, you've actually seen the tackling a couple of days ago when I demonstrated how this is made. So now you have another place where you can use that. So we go around here, we catch the line, and we start wrapping. And if you're into sailing or boating or any other activity like that, you've probably seen that before. It's a good way of preventing line from opening up. Otherwise, if you haven't seen that before, check our videos and you will see how this is done in detail. But this is the nicest way of doing it. I've seen a lot of people using cable ties and shrink hose and stuff like that, but as this is a water sport, I actually think a maritime way of doing it is actually quite nice. And I on top like to work with lines, if you haven't noticed that yet. So I prefer this tackling thing. Alright, here we are. So from underneath, through the loop. And this is nicely made. Cut off. Cut off. And this one as well. Alright, so one side is done. White line. Alright, so here it is. When you compare it that was my sample. That's the new one. It's basically identically and ready for use. Alright, that's it. I hope you liked it. Check out our YouTube channel. Click on subscription right here. And if you have other topics that you'd like to see covered, or if you have any comments, please drop us a mail and we'll see what we can do. Thank you very much.